Picture a hot, dusty night in Ouagadougou, the busy capital of Burkina Faso, where a trusted general, a man everyone looks up to, is secretly planning to betray his young, brave president. But here's the twist: his own son discovers the plot and risks everything to stop him. This is the jaw-dropping tale of how General Amadou Zongo tried to kill President Ibrahim Traoré, only to be outsmarted by his son, Kofi. It's a story of danger, loyalty, and courage that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. In 2022, Burkina Faso is a land of wide, golden fields where the sun burns hot and dusty roads stretch far. Markets buzz with life, women in bright headscarves sell mangoes, peanuts, and colorful cloth, while men shout prices for goats and chickens. Kids run barefoot, laughing as they kick old soccer balls. But behind the lively scenes, the country is hurting. Bad guys called jihadists are attacking villages in the north, setting homes on fire, stealing food, and chasing families away. Thousands of people are forced to leave their villages, carrying only blankets and pots, walking miles to find safety. Schools close, farms sit empty, and fear spreads like dust in the wind. The leader at the time, Paul-Henri Damiba, promised to stop the attacks, but he failed. Soldiers don't get paid, weapons run low, and the jihadists keep coming. People are angry, hungry, and scared, their hope fading fast. Then, like a spark in the dark, comes Ibrahim Traoré, a 34-year-old soldier with a big heart and even bigger dreams. He's not your usual leader. Born in a small village called Bondakwi, Traoré grew up helping his parents farm millet and sorghum under the scorching sun. He was a quiet kid, always reading books, dreaming of a better Burkina Faso. He went to the University of Ouagadougou to study geology, learning how to find gold and minerals in the earth. He wanted to use that knowledge to make his country rich, not for himself, but for the people. But when he saw his country falling apart, Traoré joined the army, trading his books for a gun. He climbed the ranks fast, becoming a captain in an artillery unit, known for his sharp mind and fearless heart. In September 2022, Traoré and his elite Cobra Unit, a group of tough, loyal soldiers, take over the government in a daring coup. They drive tanks into Ouagadougou, take control of the radio station, and tell Damiba to leave. At just 34, Traoré becomes the youngest leader in the world, and the people go wild. He stands tall in his green army uniform, his eyes burning with hope, and promises to change everything. He'll kick out foreign soldiers, especially the French, who've been in Burkina Faso for years, taking its gold and giving little back. He'll take control of the gold mines so the money stays with the people. He'll build schools, clinics, and farms to make life better. His speeches are like fire, spreading hope across Burkina Faso and beyond. Young people in Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya share his words on their phones, calling him the new Thomas Sankara, a hero who fought for Africa's freedom before he was killed in 1987. Traoré's voice echoes in markets, villages, and cities, giving people a reason to believe again. But his big plans make enemies, powerful ones who want things to stay the same. One of those enemies is General Amadou Zongo, a 55-year-old army hero who's like a mountain in Burkina Faso's military. Zongo is tall and strong, with a deep voice that makes soldiers stand straight and listen. His uniform sparkles with medals from battles fought over decades, and his name is known in every barracks. He served 3 presidents, surviving wars and coups, always coming out stronger. Everyone thinks Zongo is loyal to Traoré, saluting him in public, standing by his side at meetings. But deep in his heart, Zongo is worried. He thinks Traoré is too young, too bold, too risky, kicking out the French army, who helped fight jihadists, taking over gold mines owned by big foreign companies, making friends with Russia instead of Western countries. To Zongo, these moves are dangerous, like playing with fire. He believes Burkina Faso needs a steady, experienced leader to keep peace, and he's sure that leader is him. Zongo sits in his big house in Ouagadougou, a place with high walls and guards at the gate, and starts to plan. Late at night, when the city is quiet except for the hum of crickets, he meets with a small group of officers who share his fears. They call themselves the Patriots of Order, but their plan is pure betrayal. They want to kill Traoré during a big speech at the Place de la Révolution, a huge square in the capital where thousands will gather to hear him. The plan is clever. Snipers will hide on rooftops or in the crowd, shoot Traoré, and make it look like jihadists did it. While everyone is scared and confused, Zongo will step in, declare himself president, and promise to bring back order. He'll tell the world he's saving Burkina Faso from Traoré's reckless dreams. To make it work, Zongo talks to people in Ivory Coast, a nearby country where some leaders don't like Traoré's ideas. There are even whispers that he's reaching out to foreign powers, maybe France, maybe the United States, though no one can prove it. The plan is secret, dangerous, and almost perfect. Zongo thinks no one will catch him, but he's wrong. He's forgotten one person who could bring it all crashing down, his own son, Kofi. Kofi Zongo is 25, a young soldier in the Cobra Unit, the same group that helped Traore take power. He's tall like his father, with the same strong shoulders, but his eyes shine with hope, not doubt. Kofi grew up in his father's shadow, listening to stories of bravery and battles. When he was a boy, Zongo taught him how to shoot a rifle, ride a horse, and stand up straight like a soldier. Kofi would sit on the porch of their house, watching his father polish his medals, dreaming of being a hero like him. But everything changed when Kofi heard Traore speak. It was a hot afternoon in a dusty army camp, and Traore stood on a box, talking to the soldiers. "Burkina Faso is ours," he shouted. "We won't let foreigners take our gold or our future. We'll build schools, feed our people, and stand tall." Kofi's heart pounded. Traore's words weren't just talk, they were a promise of a new Africa, free from outsiders telling them what to do. To Kofi, Traore is a hero, the man who can save Burkina Faso and maybe all of Africa. Kofi joins the Cobra Unit, training hard, running through the desert with a heavy pack, learning to fight and think fast. He believes in Traore's dreams so much that he'd give his life for it. But one evening, everything changes. Kofi goes to his father's house to drop off some army papers. The house is quiet, the guards half asleep at the gate. As Kofi walks past his father's study, he hears low voices behind the door. He stops, curious, and listens. Words hit him like stones. "Coup, kill, Traore." Kofi's heart stops. He presses his ear to the door, hoping he heard wrong. But the voices keep talking, his father's voice, deep and sure, planning to murder the president. Kofi feels like the ground is gone. His father, the man he loves, the man who raised him, is a traitor. Kofi wants to burst in, yell at his father, demand answers, but he's too shocked. His legs frozen. He stumbles outside, his mind racing. Should he tell someone and betray his dad, or stay quiet and let Traore die? The choice is tearing him apart, like a rope pulling him in two directions. Kofi thinks of his mother, Amina, who died when he was 10. She was kind, always singing as she cooked fufu in the kitchen, telling Kofi to do what's right, even when it's hard. Kofi knows he can't stay silent, but he's scared of what it'll cost. Kofi decides he needs proof before he can act. He can't just accuse his father without being sure. That night, when the moon is high and the house is dark, Kofi sneaks back to the study. His hands shake as he picks the lock, a trick his father taught him for emergencies. Inside, the room smells of old papers and coffee. Kofi uses a small flashlight, careful not to wake the guards. He opens drawers, flips through files, and finds a locked metal box under the desk. His heart pounds as he uses a pen to open it, another skill from his father. Inside are papers that make his stomach drop, maps of the Place de la Revolution with red XS marking sniper spots, a list of names, soldiers loyal to Zongo, and coded messages to someone in Ivory Coast called the Contact. There's even a note about a meeting with the foreigner, though Kofi doesn't know who that is. The plot is real, set for 3 days from now. During Traore's big speech, Kofi sits on the floor, staring at the papers, tears running down his face. He thinks of his father's proud smile when he graduated from army training, the way they laughed together at family dinners. But he also thinks of Traore's dream, a Burkina Faso where kids like his little cousin go to school, where farmers have enough food, where the country keeps its own gold. Kofi knows he has to stop his father, but the thought makes his chest hurt. He can't do it alone, so he decides to tell his best friend, Lieutenant Musa. Musa is 27, a Cobra Unit soldier with a quick smile and a sharp mind. He and Kofi have been friends since training, always joking, always watching each other's backs. Kofi meets Musa the next morning in a quiet alley behind a market, where the air smells of grilled corn and charcoal. Kofi's voice shakes as he tells Musa everything, his father's plan, the papers, the snipers. Musa's eyes get wide. "Kofi," he says, "this is your dad. If you're wrong, you'll destroy him. If you're right, we could both die." Kofi looks at the ground, then back at Musa. "I'm not wrong," he says, "and I can't let Traore die. Will you help me?" Musa rubs his face, thinking hard. He knows Traore is their best hope for a better future, but this is dangerous. Finally, he nods. "For Burkina Faso," he says. For 2 days, Kofi and Musa work like spies, moving quietly, watching Zongo's men. They follow one officer to a dusty bar where he meets others. whispering about the plan. Kofi hides behind a stack of crates, recording their talk on his phone. They hear names, dates, and details about the snipers, where they'll hide, when they'll shoot. Another night, they sneak into a small radio post where Zongo's men send coded messages. Kofi and Musa listen, hearts pounding, as a voice says, "The hit is set for the rally. Every move is risky. If they're caught, Zongo's men won't ask questions, they'll shoot." Kofi barely sleeps, his mind stuck on his father's face, his mother's voice, and Traore's speeches. He feels guilty, but he knows he's doing what's right. Musa keeps him focused, cracking small jokes to ease the tension, but both know the danger is real. The day of the rally comes, April 30th, 2023. The Place de la Revolution is alive with thousands of people, young and old, packed shoulder to shoulder. Green and red flags wave in the hot sun, and drums beat a steady rhythm. Vendors sell cold water, roasted peanuts, and sweet mango slices. Kids weave through the crowd, giggling, unaware of the danger. Traore steps onto a wooden stage, his green army uniform neat, his voice loud and strong. "We are not slaves," he shouts. "Burkina Faso will rise. No foreigners, no attackers, no traitors will stop us." The crowd cheers, clapping, chanting his name. But high above, on rooftops and in tall buildings, Zongo's snipers are ready. They set up their rifles, scopes aimed at Traore's head. General Zongo watches from a small room in a nearby building, his face calm but his hands tight on a radio. He thinks this is his moment to take control, to save Burkina Faso by becoming its leader. He waits for the signal to tell the snipers to shoot, but Kofi and Musa are one step ahead. That morning, at dawn, they meet Colonel Diallo, Traore's tough security chief, in a small office near the army base. Diallo is a big man with scars on his face from old battles, loyal to Traore and known for never backing down. Kofi hands him a folder with all their proof, maps, names, recordings. Diallo reads it, his jaw tight. "Your own father?" he asks, his voice low. Kofi nods, tears in his eyes. "Do what you need to," he says. Diallo doesn't waste time. He calls in the Cobra Unit, giving orders to find the snipers and stop them. As Traore speaks, Cobra soldiers move quietly, climbing rooftops, slipping into buildings. They grab the snipers one by one, taking their guns before they can shoot. In Zongo's room, his radio buzzes with panic. "They found us," his men shout. Zongo's face goes pale. He knows he's been caught, but he doesn't know how. Then comes the moment that breaks Kofi's heart. He walks into his father's room, where Zongo stands with maps and radios scattered around. Zongo's eyes burn with anger. "You?" he yells, his voice shaking the walls. "My own son?" Kofi's throat is tight, but he stands tall. "I had to, Dad," he says. "For Burkina Faso. For Traore. For what's right." For a second, Zongo's face softens, a flicker of pride in his son's courage. Then it hardens again. "You chose your side," he says coldly. Before Zongo can move, Cobra soldiers burst in, grabbing his arms, taking him away. The plot is over before it can start. That night, Traore speaks to the country on TV, his voice steady. "Some tried to betray us," he says, "but heroes among us chose what's right." He doesn't say Kofi's name, keeping him safe from attention. Zongo and his men are arrested, locked away. Some say Zongo was sent out of the country to live in exile. Others whisper he was quietly killed. The truth stays hidden, like many secrets in Burkina Faso. Kofi goes back to his unit, but he's not the same. He doesn't want medals or praise. He saved Traore, saved the country's hope, but he lost his father. The pain sits heavy in his chest, like a stone he can't move. He thinks of his mother, Amina, who'd be proud but sad. Kofi walks through his village sometimes, watching kids play, remembering when he was that young, when his father was his hero. But his bravery gives hope to others. Soldiers in the Cobra Unit look at him with respect, whispering his story. Traore keeps leading, stronger than ever. He builds schools so kids can learn, fixes roads so farmers can sell their crops, and opens gold factories so Burkina Faso keeps its wealth. He teams up with leaders in Mali and Niger, forming the alliance of Sahel states to make the region strong. There are still problems. Jihadists attack, money is tight, and new plots hide in the shadows. But Traore, Kofi, and the people keep fighting, fueled by a dream of a free Africa. This story, burning bright from the dusty fields of Burkina Faso to your heart, shows that even when the choice is impossible, one brave person can change everything. Courage, loyalty, and doing what's right can make a nation stronger, no matter the cost.